I'm the Cadwell.
So Jared, your dad?
Yes. No.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You good? Okay, thank you, everybody, for getting here, and sorry for the little technical delay, but we also had another delay because we were trying to wrap up a deliberative session from a hearing a couple of weeks ago. So we're gonna take care of that business first, and for your entertainment. And I think we will entertain a motion for someone to approve or deny the hearing before the board.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to approve Jim LaCoyle application with the following conditions to be drafted by the attorney for the zoning board, Gary Kupfer.
I'll second that.
And basically, so I'm clear, it's the decision I sent you under cover of April 24th with the additions with respect to hours of operation and the septic system in Leachfield. Add those, and Jeff has been kind enough to give me the information on, you know, when things were mailed and stuff like that. So make those additions, and that's the decision. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
Fair statement.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Apparently none, and that was a unanimous vote of the board.
You voted, right?
No, we had one member that was in attendance for the hearing is absent tonight.
That's correct.
Yes.
But
We
you
still have,
voted aye.
And still have a quorum.
we still have a quorum.
Right.
It's a
And we have
majority of the
4,
quorum.
which is
It's
a majority.
of the board.
Yes,
Yeah.
majority of the board. Okay, so then I'll direct the county attorney to revise the add in and to the draft / permit decision and so forth and find it. And see if we can get those out to us, Gary.
I will try and get them out tomorrow morning.
Okay. I guess what I want to do is welcome everybody again. And we do have an agenda before the board. I think I want to do this first, Gary, or that's all right with you. And we have our town attorney who was present for the last hearing. And we had to deal with some stuff in the last deliberative session. So I think the town is more than happy to pay him at least overtime to have us, keep his presence here and get what we can out of him. Moving on, we do have a couple of scheduled hearings. We're going to call the meeting to order. It happens to be around, we'll call it 7:20 p.m. on Monday, April 28th, 2025. We have to call the meeting to order, which I'm doing now, and we have to approve or amend the draft meeting agenda. I'll introduce the board members. We have Charlie Simpson on the end. He's a board member. Ed Keith is a board member. Gary Kupfer to my left is the town attorney. I'm Stan Markowski, the chairman. On my right is Rick Conway, another board member forever, along with me. Ann Reed appears to be the recording secretary tonight.
Sure.
Okay, and we have a new member, Jim LaCoyle, who is his first kind of attended hearing here for us. So welcome aboard, Jim. We'll try not to scare you away. Okay. So anyway, the open hearing is we have.
Can we
Yes,
just,
go ahead,
let's do a motion to adjust the agenda and discuss miscellaneous business and get Barb in and out quickly
Okay,
on a decision that was issued, or no decision has been issued yet, I don't believe, but on the Pittsburgh Preservation Corp at the last hearing. And I think there's just is there a motion to approve taking that out of order?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as corrected to bring Barb forward as the first.
order of business. Charlie will second that. All those in favor say aye. Okay,
So
so
let me just-
enlighten us here a little
Let me
bit.
sum it up to try to move this along. There was a hearing, I believe, looks like
2 weeks.
it's 2 weeks ago. No, I'm gonna get you in and quicken, okay? There was a hearing on Pittsburgh Preservation Corp. And the only issue, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jeff, was there was a permit for a stage issued in the past, But the way the stage worked was they had to put it up before, take it down right after, and all that stuff. The new permit application was just to leave the stage there, so they didn't have to put it up and tear it down after every performance. Is that accurate?
That's essentially accurate.
Okay, and my understanding is, under the request 2 weeks ago, the stage location was in the same location as the prior permit.
The application and the testimony stated that it was going to be in the same location.
Okay. And that was the only issue before the board on that permit, nothing else, okay? My understanding, Barb, would you state your name for the record, please?
Barbara Lancet.
And you're an adjoining landowner, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and it's my understanding that your claim is you didn't get proper notice before the hearing, fair statement?
Yes.
All right, and I think it was due to the post office, but my question to you, it's my understanding that you have no objection to the stage going where the permit authorizes it.
Exactly. No, that'd be fine.
Okay, your concern is you think they're putting it somewhere else where the permit does not authorize it. Fair
I had
statement.
no idea that the permit was still for the original plan. No, it's been straight out my kitchen window, right in the middle. It obstructs my whole view when it's erected, when the canopy's up.
So I think what you're telling us is when they've done it, put it up, take it down, it actually was in a different location than the approved permit. Yes, but no question where the location of the stage, whether temporary or this permanent, you have no objection where the location is that the permit authorized.
I do not.
Okay. I think with that clarifies that issue, and I think we can move forward with that decision. Thank you.
So what happens now? Can you tell me that? or-
Well, the decision hasn't been issued yet. There is a draft decision waiting, but candidly is if they put the stage in a different location than the permit authorizes, that is a permit violation. I would suggest you report it to Jeff.
So just wait and see what happens. And
Well,
then-
everyone may give them a little fair warning of this, Jeff, if that's probably a
where they
reasonable thing
install
to
a
do.
Semi-permanent.
Right, but
stage.
the bottom line is the permit only authorizes the stage location in a certain place. If they're putting it somewhere else, they can't do it, or they need to come back to the board for an amendment to the permit.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
thank you for
Okay,
coming.
yeah. We just soon let them commit the crime before we before we call the cops,
Oh,
okay? All right.
So
Yeah.
do watch, and if
Keep an
there's
eye on it.
issue,
There's an
please
issue, let
report it
them
to
know.
Jeff.
Oh, there will be an issue, I'm positive.
All right, well,
Okay.
just report it to Jeff.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, take care,
Yeah.
everybody.
Thank you, Barb.
Thank
Okay.
you for sticking me in there.
Okay, chapter 2 of the entertainment. Now, who wants to do the next entertainment? Okay, so we have 2 applications tonight and they're both, as I read it earlier, Jeff, was for 7 o'clock tonight. They weren't staggered on time. So,
I don't know what that means, Mr. Chairman.
well, okay, we can't hold,
The first
take the testimony from all 2 different.
Can't do 2 hearings at the same time. You've got them both scheduled for 7.
It's self-explanatory, just go down the list.
Okay, we'll do it. Okay, all
All
right. So on the open public application number 25-14 from Tad Cook and Celia Cadwell, which represents removal of a conforming attached garage on the west side of the pre-zoning or non-conforming use due to setbacks, a single-family house, and construct an attached attached breezeway and garage to the north side of the house at 564 Elm Street. Lister ID is number 0162. The new construction would encroach the minimum prescribed front or street setback. Okay.
and I have to disclose that I have a conflict on this because I represent Ed and Celia.
Okay,
I just want to disclose that.
We're in the final few weeks of purchasing the farmhouse. We've been renting this farmhouse for the last 2 years for my family. we're in the final couple weeks of purchasing the farmhouse. So Ashley, my uncle, is here as owner.
Okay. All right, now, Jeff, we heard you were in the hallway signing people up. Is that active swearing or not?
We had the roster completed, yeah.
We had the roster completed, okay. Okay, so I'll just swear anybody in that wishes to give testimony, including you, Ashley. Hello. Okay, thank you. Hi. Hey, if anybody wishes to give testimony, wants to raise their right hand, and you so solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
Okay, good, good. Your names are on the list, on the roster, so, but I think you're just between Cecilia, you and Ashley, that's it.
Yes.
Okay. In front of the board, at least I've got a application. And actually, Jeff, it came out a lot clearer on the hard copy versus the email I got of the property. If you could, and I kind of read through it and understood what you're trying to do. You are on Elm Street in a pre-existing non-conforming in a pre-existing house prior to zoning, and you're looking to put on a looks like a new garage.
Correct.
To the north end of the house. Does everybody know where the Cadwells live? Everybody familiar with it? Charlie, are you?
No.
Okay, well, maybe Cecile, I'll have you as a representative give some testimony and kind of do a little rundown on your proposed project.
Yeah, so we're about half a mile south on Elm Street.
Okay.
And
Glad that Eddie's on.
yes.
Okay.
And we currently live in an 1800s farmhouse that's set back 19 or 44 feet from the center line, which is
Okay.
outside of the 65-foot required setback.
Okay.
Center line, just so that.
Yeah, the center line.
I'm sorry, I don't want to
Yeah.
confuse this. For conveniences, we're assuming that the center line of the travel lane is in the center of the right of way. And it seems to be from aerial photographs. So they don't know exactly where their corner pins is, I don't think, but I don't know, maybe you did snap a line between the corner pins. So if you look at the map, which is an excellent example of a site plan, they have a distance from the boundary line, which is on the edge of the town road 3-rod right away. And the house that has been here for a century plus, almost 2 centuries, is 19 feet from the edge of the right of way.
Okay.
It's a non-conforming 19-foot setback in a zoning district where the conforming minimum setback is 40 feet.
Because it's pre-existing.
Because it's.
Okay.
It is a
Gotcha.
conforming lot, but it's a non-conforming.
Forming setback.
Setback.
On the existing house.
Well,
Not,
it's the existing
Yeah.
structure.
The existing
Right.
The existing
That's right.
structure.
and the proposed structure. Setback,
is set back an additional 10 feet from the existing structure, so that would be 29 feet back. And it is a mudroom and garage, a total of about 936 square feet. So we're applying for conditional use under section 808, which is the expansion of a dimensional non-conformity. We meet all 3 criteria, A, B, and C, under section 808, and happy to go through that with you all right now, if that's helpful.
Section 808 is copied on the additional information sheet in the application. It's the 3rd page of the application. It's
On the back of this one.
right where your left finger is.
Yeah, you know it. Right, I got it.
well, it's right there.
Section 808 is
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. Is it helpful if I read through, talk through?
You might as well, yeah.
Okay, So it does not create a greater nuisance, detriment to public health, safety or welfare than the existing dimensional nonconformity. So we're setting it back an additional 10 feet from the existing structure. And we're keeping, by and large, all of the existing landscaping from the road that's there, the road. The extension, expansion, or intensification of the dimensional nonconformity shall conform to all other requirements applicable under these regulations. Our understanding is that this conforms to all other zoning regulations. And the total enlargement does not exceed 50% of the area of the use, nonconformity, and existence at the time of the adoption of these regulations. Our existing structure is over 3,100 square feet, 3,157 square feet. And our proposed addition is 936 square feet, so it's less than 50%.
Big minimum setback on the other line.
They do.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the question because in a case like this, even though it is a addition to a pre-existing non-conforming use. To make it even a little bit more, I don't think to me, it doesn't make a big difference in my opinion, however. To come a little closer to what the town regulations require on a front yard setback for a street line setback. Had you looked at moving the garage a little further west? From where its proposed location is?
Yes, but we're trying to thread the line of having a appropriate door, door entryway and allow for water, electric to run through to the mudroom. So we're trying to thread the line of additional setback without going too far, to allow for ample entryway.
Okay,
Would you just restate how many feet you've moved it back from the existing setback? Was it 10 feet?
10 feet back,
Okay,
yes.
so they've moved it 10.
they moved it 10. See what I'm looking at
Yeah,
here,
I know what you're doing. Yeah, I agree.
like on this one, it shows it a little further back than what the aerial view does.
Mhm.
Okay, and in your permit, just application, you're tearing down the existing garage, is that correct?
Yes, I think we outlined that would be phase 2,
Okay,
tearing down the existing garage. This lot is 1.23 acres and we're trying to. At the time that garage was added, it was part of a larger 100-acre farm structure, and right now we're trying to maximize that. Existing lot, which is 1.23 acres, and also trying to create more of a barrier from the road.
No, the garage removal request is actually nothing the board, I mean, it's a permittable use, but
Mhm.
I want everybody to be on board here.
sure, okay. All right. What you thinking, Rick? I know your gears are turning.
Is there any historic preservation or anything? As you stated, it was a old house. Is there any register? Is it on any?
We are preserving the original farmhouse. And the structure itself is actually in many different phases, but the original house that was originally built, we are preserving. None of that is being removed.
So the proposed structure, how is it gonna complement or?
Yeah, it's going to be in line with the existing design principles.
Do we have any elevations of that?
I don't
Didn't
think
really see any. In the,
Yeah,
not in the
those would
application,
Like, like colors and stuff.
yeah, colors, what kind of siding you're gonna have.
The siding's gonna mirror what the existing siding is, and the elevation will be lower than the existing structure.
Do you have any kind of drawing that represents windows and all that?
Not on my person, but I do, that I'm happy to, circulate.
Okay. So you're saying it's gonna blend right in?
It will blend right in, that is our goal,
Okay.
yes.
All right, and it appears you're creating a new driveway and parking lot, but I'm sure you've gone to the town for all the curb cut applications
We
and
have,
stuff. Okay,
So you obtain curb cut?
we have talked to Chaz.
Chad.
Yes, and submitted a highway access permit, have not heard back, but we've gone through that.
Okay.
okay,
So that would be conditional of that.
but be fall under any other permits that's required.
Yeah.
Of the town. Okay.
Septic anywhere in the vicinity of the addition,
No,
water line.
on the other side of the road.
And is it gonna be a pitched roof? I don't have the elevation, so I'm
Oh.
trying to get like the,
Yes, it's going to mirror, it's gonna be the exact same pitch as the existing house roof.
Okay,
So that part of the house is 2-story or 1?
That part of the house is 2-story.
It's abutting to it. The original house,
The original house is 2 stories, yes.
and the new part is 1 story.
The new, I really should, I have a drawing, but the new story, the mudroom itself is 1 story. And then the garage is 1.5. And both roof lines mirror the pitch of
Same
the
pitches,
exist-
okay.
yes, of the existing.
okay,
and the roofing materials will be,
They likely won't be slate because of how expensive
you only do it once in your lifetime. I'll
it
bet.
is, but standing seam
Yeah.
roof,
okay,
Nice, nice.
which also exists on other parts of the house.
Yeah.
As your architect mentioned, the plastic slate, the synthetic slate,
It's not,
there is a synthetic slate material, which is half the cost of the mineral slate. It's more expensive than a 3-tab or architectural shingle. But you can't tell it's not real slate when you're looking at it, and it doesn't have the weight factor, and it's a recycled product.
Hmm.
More wind resistant than asphalt shingle.
but not slate. Okay.
But then you don't have to worry about the nails falling off anyway. And
Okay.
just for the zoning point of view, since we have a planning commissioner in the group, zoning doesn't include architectural, even under conditional use in our zoning. So perhaps when the zoning regulations get reviewed, we might give it some consideration.
Well, I just wanted to know because we need to. Typically, we have elevations, so I ain't got the answer to my question. Thank you. I think it's very well presented. And I think it's gonna look complement the house.
that's the goal.
Okay. That being said, any other questions? Or anything else to offer that would sway our decision contrary to what you just told us?
I mean, I think just reiterate that our goal is to preserve this original structure, and so the addition will be in line with the design principles of the original structure, and I'm happy to provide, we have a model, which I'm happy to provide. If that would be helpful to see.
Well, I put trust in your testimony, seeing you swore to it. And I guess at this stage of the game, is there any other opinions from any board members, questions? No, anything to enter into this hearing? On this
No.
case, Jim, how do you feel?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, good. Well, if there's no further discussion, I guess I will entertain a motion to approve the application that's submitted and presented to the board this evening. I don't, without conditions, unless there's an opportunity that someone should put conditions in. Okay, so I'll entertain a motion then.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
To approve. Okay, okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, it's unanimous.
Great.
You have a permit from the town of Pittsburgh. How's that?
Hey, come-
Eventually.
If you don't get one, make sure you send us a letter and we'll see that it gets taken care of.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. Ashley gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
Good
you.
Good job. You did a nice job up there.
Thank you, Stan and company.
All right, we'll see you.
Ciao.
Okay. Well, I sure hope the last one. Oh.
Definitely. Don't worry.
Okay, so we're going to get hard copy next time.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Since you're in the corner, you get to read this particular copy and.
Good luck.
Yeah, and Charlie, you get that copy. For folks in the middle, I got even bigger copies. So you have small copies in your packages, and they're readable. Here is the both sides.
The real deal.
The real deal provided by NFB Architects. And,
And-
are you related?
NBF, not NFB.
There's some relation there, but no real relation.
KT Gotcha is the architect for NFB here tonight.
NBF.
NFB, sorry.
Oh, you're not the fuel guys?
I'm not. No,
Okay.
I have some other cool things copies.
I haven't got room for the ones they have. Thank you. Is that okay for you, Charlie? Yes. Let's move around.
Okay, thanks for being patient again. But, anyway, we're gonna go back to an open public hearing on the application number 25-10 from Jesse Holmes, who's the owner. Is that you, Jesse? Okay. And a realty company which requests to change and or the expansion of the use to the commercial building at 2874 Vermont Route 7, also known as the Barn. And it's lister ID number 1003. The application requests adding 7 efficiency apartments to the structure's 2 existing apartments. Okay, we'll swear you guys in, we'll take in testimony as we have and as you witnessed them from the last hearing. Yes,
I'd like to make a point of order that I own the mobile station across the street and I did receive notice that you were doing this. I do not feel that I have any opinion one way or the other. However, if anybody else at this point does, may want to make it known. We've got 4, but I'm more than willing to assist unless there's objection to it.
no, I think your knowledge and maturity and expertise in this field is a welcome to the board, Rick.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure we don't have any
And,
conflict issues.
No, and knowing you, you're as straight as they come and solid, so. We'd be happy to have you stay on.
Okay,
Okay. So what we'll do is, as we did in the past, we'll swear everybody in. We'll give you a chance to state your case and be available to answer any questions from members of the board or those present. And then should there the hearing get into a situation where we need to go into a deliberative session to discuss the hearing evidence, we'll do so. That's may or may not happen. And if it does, we'll exit the deliberative session, may be tonight, maybe at another date and time certain. And then some of the other business we had, thank you again for being patient with us. We took care of that already. And any other ZBA concerns and set a date for any future meetings as the applications require. Now, that's the agenda. We have to approve the agenda before
You already did it.
we did on the first one, you think you covered this one too?
Mhm.
Okay,
So you just need to swear
I'll
them
swear
in.
everybody in, okay. Thank you,
You're welcome.
okay. Now, those of you that wish to give testimony, if you'll raise your right hand. And you so solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the cause under consideration shall be the whole truth, so help you God.
You do.
You do. And just for the record and for me to know, if you could state your names again,
I'm Jesse Holmes. I'm the owner of the building.
okay?
I'm the owner, one of the owners of R and J Realty. It's just a small regional LLC.
Mhm.
My name's Casey Getcha. I'm one of the business owners of NBF Architects in Rutland and the project architect for this project.
Okay. Very good. Okay, Jeff, what we typically do, to get informed and up to speed a little bit, we typically ask Jeff to give us a presentation. But Casey, I would, under the impression that maybe you've done this before, a time or two. Okay, would you, and to save maybe some repetition here, Casey, you're more than welcome to take the floor, because a lot of times people come in that haven't got a good clue on presentation and stuff. So we give Jeff an opportunity to kind of usher them along in the right direction and keep us on track.
The architect is kind enough, or maybe Jesse, the owner, did this, but they submitted a 2-page introductory letter. I think, as well. So at some point, the board comes up to their reference.
Okay, so let's, we don't have to get into total detail on this, on your narrative. However, if you could just, for the board, as a verbal presentation, tell us a little bit in a nutshell what's going on, what you see, and would be very helpful to verbally see how all this complies with the zoning regulations of the town of Pittsburgh. Okay, thank you.
Just so I'm aware, does everyone know where the building in question is located?
Yes.
So right kind of across from St. Alphonsus Church, near the mobile station, kind of where all that road work is taking place. Okay, so what you have in front of you are some existing drawings at a schematic level of what we're proposing to do, with a reference to the design. The first 2 pages should just be a demolition plan showing what the existing structure is. We're looking at that barring structure in the back side of the property. It currently has 2 apartments inside of it, one on the north end of the ground floor, and the other one is up on the 3rd floor, which is where Jesse stays.
Okay, so this is the one identified as the barn?
Yes.
Okay.
And in your application, there's an area photograph.
Mhm.
So one of 3 buildings, so each of the buildings has a separate P911 address, but if you look at the area photograph, it'll show you what's what.
Okay,
It's in your application.
So
Just
the
two
existing
buildings.
apartment, the existing apartments are in the,
right. Okay, yeah.
it said the existing
It'd be
apartments
easier
are
to
in the
follow.
barn building.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
There's existing apartments in both buildings. The only thing that's part of this discussion that we're proposing changes to is the barn building at the east side of the property.
So
okay.
the other building is gonna stay the same.
Stay the same, no
Okay.
changes whatsoever. The brick building.
Yeah.
It's no change to. So as said, the building currently has 2 apartments in it. One on the north end of the ground floor, the 3rd floor up at the top. And what we're proposing is to modify the existing structure to have 9 units total. So that's 7 in addition to the 2 that are currently there. They are a mix of efficiency and 1-bedroom units. You can see them on page, I think, A1 through A3. We have a general layout of what they would look like. We also have some elevation drawings to show what we're proposing. Basically, the existing footprint of the building would remain as is. No changes whatsoever to the size of the building. The only place where we're looking to do any sort of expansion is to create some decks along the back side of the structure on the east end in order to access some of the units off the back side. And we would be looking to extend an existing deck along the south end, one that's already there just off to the side. And that's again, just to get access directly to the units. For fire safety purposes and following with code, we're doing direct exterior access to each of the units rather than having any common corridors or shared units or anything like that. So there's a few more exterior doors going on the building, which is also shown on those elevations, and drawn in detail, little bits of bridge over snow and rain. The existing parking lot is already there, it's more than large enough to fit the spaces that we would need. Even introducing handicap, all the spacing requirements, all that sort of stuff. we do have documentation from, I believe it was town manager, certifying that the existing utilities are necessary to meet what we're proposing to do. They had no concern with wastewater. We have a letter from the civil engineer who also did a check of the gallon per, minute and all that sort of flow to show that everything was fine. Because I think previously the building was already set up for maybe a restaurant or a ice cream shop, some apartments, some retail. So essentially, we're just trying to make use of an existing building that's relatively vacant at this point, not change the actual footprint of it, not change the setbacks or anything like that, no heights,
So the roof lines here are the existing
existing roof lines. The only
dormer and all.
dormer is already existing, yes, and I do have a couple pictures of what the building is now, if that helps.
Yeah.
Sometimes the colored images help over the elevations. So this is an image of each side, if you don't mind passing that around. The only thing on the elevations are a couple doors, a couple little roof overhangs at the actual doors, which I can come out and point to you if that would be useful. But otherwise, there's an architectural site plan kind of showing where property lines are, but again, we're not actually expanding the building other than a deck, an exterior stair, access to the space. We're just making use of the building as is.
Maybe I missed it, but is it gonna have like new siding to this building, or is it gonna stay pretty much what it is now?
We're trying to keep with the aesthetic that's there currently, because it does kind of have a barn look to it, but I mean, some of it is going to have to come off where we have to put an egress window, or we have to put a new door, so there will be some patching, but intention is to keep that clapboard style that is currently there, just do some repair to the slate roof, and just modify what's needed or necessary.
Okay, but it's the inside, it's gonna get all the
inside.
attention.
Exactly, right.
Basically,
Right
you
now,
just
it's
patch the
basically-
siding in as needed.
Okay,
No intention at this time to take that off or to do anything major there. It's all through the inside work.
okay. And I guess when you get on the inside, you're really gonna just gut the whole thing out. And
Essentially,
it'll be new wiring and new, I mean, you have to do it, we have to code, I'm sure, so.
we're gonna have to do it to code. We'll have final drawings, we're gonna have to go through fire safety and get the building permits and all that sort of stuff. Right now, it's relatively pretty vacant. You just kind of walk in and it still looks as if it was a barn, so it's a shell at this point.
Okay.
But in regards to the town side of things, like I said, we already have the curb cut for the parking lot. The parking lot's already existing. We're just making use of the setup that is already there. And trying to introduce some more housing, which seems to be a need everywhere, especially, 1-bedroom style where it's not quite as fancy and luxurious maybe as, all the mansions and whatnot, but it's a necessity and it's bringing money into the town. People are gonna go to, the mobile station right down the street and they're gonna go to the places nearby and it's gonna help.
What is the average square footage of the unit?
They're all listed on there. The average one, if you want to give me a minute, I could probably look through there. But right on A1 through A3, I think it is, where it labels each of the unit numbers, right below it would be a square footage. So, let's see. The basement units, which are walkout, one of them is 673, the other is 749.
Generous.
The upstairs, the one will remain, so I don't have the square footage on that one listed here, but the others are 568, 474, 664. 494, 684, and then the existing upstairs is also staying as is essentially that 1280.
If it helps to put something in perspective, and then from my personal experience. A single wide mobile home 12 by 65 is 705 square feet. So we probably all know what a single wide mobile home is. So, the West Rutland, Marble Village, which is under construction. There are a couple of units that approach 800 square feet, most of them are 600 square feet. Wow. 1 bedroom or 1 bed.
That's expensive, square footage down there, isn't it? Wasn't that like $11 million for 24?
$11.5 million.
For 24 years.
$375,000 as well.
How much?
That includes real estate and
Mhm.
permitting and engineering and all of it, but that's
How much do you say again?
375,000. That's not setting records.
Yeah.
They had a Brattleboro project 5 years ago, and the average cost for the unit was 500,000.
Okay,
Wild.
don't say that, Jeff, you might scare.
Maybe some people will come in and start building houses.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay,
So essentially, yeah, I mean, what we're trying to do is the building is already serving apartments. It's just that there's a lot of vacant empty space. We're not trying to change the footprint. We're not putting additions. We're not impacting your setbacks. 2 decks getting out to the backside, but we're not trying to modify really what's there.
okay, now do you have to upgrade the water service for fire protection, or that if need be, you will? You don't need to?
So based off of the code requirements, there's no need to put a sprinkler system through the
Okay.
building because we're gonna have direct exterior access and not have any of the common hallways.
Okay,
Yeah, so we're kind of already looking at that from a fire marshal point of view,
all right.
just to check with it.
I could add some side details if I may.
Oh, we got all kinds of time, Jeff.
Okay, so basically this is a 1.5 acre parcel of land. And we're a 1 acre town under Act 250, but Act 250 wrote a jurisdictional opinion that they are not going to bother the applicant on this application. So there is a jurisdictional opinion that says no Act 250 permit required. And it may be because this project would be, if otherwise challenged, an example of an exemption under the new state statute Act 181. It's in the village residential district or village district. And it's affordable housing, so to speak, and housing and parking, by the way, is existing impervious surface. So that wasn't a stormwater issue, is my understanding. And so the state has got, and it, by the way, is the largest addition to housing in one project since the Pittsburgh Commons was built.
Okay.
Are you still requiring firewalls in between units?
We'll be doing a code review as needed once we get through the details. At this point, we brought the drawings to a schematic level. I wanted to get through zoning and make sure that there's no red flags on your end. But we will be doing a full code review, firewalls as needed, sound separation, so kind of take that into consideration
Okay.
too. But
So I got a question. So electrically, is each unit gonna be individually metered?
Requirement.
You're saying you're not upgrading the electrical to the unit
no, I think you're gonna be planning to have separate meters for each of the
and
units.
separate panels in each unit? Okay.
Heating sources, are these all heat pump units or?
Any decisions there?
Yeah.
They're planning to be heat pump units.
There's gonna be heat pumps in every unit?
Yeah.
Are you gonna conceal the line sets in the walls or are they gonna run on the outside of the building?
I mean, ideally, we're going to locate them so that they're not going to be nuisance or hidden. We'll have to look and investigate into the exact mechanical locations at that point when we get further into the design. There are a few
Yeah.
that might be a little tricky,
Where's Jeff
just
doing
because of
that?
location within the building, but ideally, concept being hide any sort of.
Great looking
Well,
building.
ask him.
I would just hate to see those line set ductworks going all over it.
I've seen a few that destroy buildings. It's like, oh. no.
Yeah,
You can get now, electric propane heat pumps that really work good, so you might wanna check in on that.
Well, no, we just want to make sure.
Yes.
I have just 2 questions, I think. The additional decks are not decks, are they true decks or are they gonna be covered with roofs?
True decks,
Open decks versus with deck.
yep, so on the south side, that is going to be an open deck similar to what's currently there. At the actual door into the unit will be a small little porch roof to protect you. And then on the back side of the building, the part where you wouldn't see it from the main road anyway, that one is gonna have a stair up to the upper level, so that one will have a roof over it, which you can see in the elevation there.
That's the
I'm
east,
with you.
that's the east level.
Yes, to
Yeah.
the east side, just because that one will need egress purposes, some protection.
The roofed decks, for lack of better term, do they meet the setback requirements?
Yes, there's plenty of room.
There's plenty of room, good.
All around.
Okay. The only other question I have, and Jeff, or you may address it. How do you address the lot size under Article 4? Because we're in the village, correct?
Yes.
And basically, the way I read multifamily is 20,000 square feet plus 15,000 square feet for each additional dwelling unit. How do you address that?
15,000 square feet for each.
That's what it says, I think.
Page you looking at?
I'm on page 16 of the zoning ordinance. Unless I'm reading it wrong.
No, you're not reading it wrong.
Because we have a 1.5 acre parcel, correct?
Pre-existing.
Pre-existing, yep, get it.
Pre-existing building.
So
Yeah,
are
and
you,
I mean, we are going for, it is a conditional use multi-family situation, so I guess that's where we're coming to you with this purpose concept.
it's a multiple use existing now? Or are we changing usage
Expanding it.
or just expanding?
But the lot size is 1 acre. The table of uses is saying 2 acres, right, Carrie? Is that what you're?
Well, I guess,
Village.
I mean, I'm just, because we just had the one the other day with all this, acreage. And I'm just wondering if you need to get into the eights to get around this, that, 8.8 or 808 or whatever. Because to me, the way this reads is you got
Yes.
20,000 and then 15 would be, so you need like 110,000 square feet, which is what, 2 point something acres. I don't know, Jeff, you've looked at it a lot longer than I have, and you certainly have spent a lot of time and
Well,
effort.
that one I did look at.
I guess I look at it another way, to read it, Gary, would be the,
Can I see it quickly?
sure,
Sorry.
maximum lot coverage I have.
I don't.
It's 25%. I don't think those buildings take up 25% of the entire lot. As an angle anyway to look at it,
Now, bear in mind, these dimensional requirements and coverage factors and so on are no longer allowed under Act 181. So
That's the new,
that.
That's the
override-
new
that-
one.
That trumps, any.
that's the new Act
regulation.
250 thing.
It's it's the new, there's the Home Act, which is Act 47. And then the supplement to the Home Act, which is the one that comes out in 250 and requires the waiver of the setbacks and dimensionally.
I'll have to look at it for
It-
planning
What
commission.
it says is that for every acre you're guaranteed.
Oh, we have to look at what's here.
You cannot.
Just
prohibit.
address it.
So
No, I know.
is the answer maybe that this is superseded by a state statute?
I would say that is the guarantee that the developer would have, as I understand the rules. And a lot of towns, and town zoning boards have been granting variances as the procedural method in those two permits. That's
No.
really, until they've updated their zoning, that's how they've been addressing it.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know the project in West Stoughton was a huge problem. They thought it was exempt and then it wasn't, and they had to go get an Act 250 permit
Yeah,
because it didn't meet it.
but the
Are you,
reason for
let me
that,
finish. Are you saying that this is the correct district to apply that? Because in West Rutland, it was not, and they had to get an Act 250
the
permit.
reason they had to get an Act 250 permit is they had other multiple housing projects within a 5 mile radius. They exceeded the number, which is 24 under Act 181.
So what I'm asking though is your testimony that the Pittsburgh zoning ordinance is superseded by that state
It's
statute.
my understanding, and I'm no expert at it, but it's something we could certainly get a second opinion from VLCT on, that it would be.
Now, what is the distance requirement on the? Because there's the big red barn around the corner.
You mean separation between buildings?
No, because you were saying in West Rutland, you had too many.
Oh, are you asking me what the setbacks were that were approved?
No,
No.
what Charles is asking is, you have Jesse's place, and then up further you have Brittenham's, the Barnside Estates, which has,
Is that the same
is
type of
that
scenario
gonna be
West
too
Rutland?
many close together is what he's asking, like West Rutland had.
That is
Yeah.
the issue. That's a good question.
Well,
My
Birmingham
understanding
isn't in the picture. I mean, he did, he avoided Act 250. No, Birmingham's farm.
Brittingham.
Golf course. And actually the piece of property that Ron Smith has had, and then that whole subdivision on Mountain View does have an Act 250 impact on it.
Oh, wait, I don't think that's the issue.
No, that's,
I think,
The
yeah,
question might be, is that exemption with the 24 rule means that Jesse has to have additional projects within the
Exactly.
distance, that puts
Exactly.
him over 24 units, and his project is only for these 7 additional units.
And that's,
Okay.
that's
So
the question.
That
yes.
was the same builder that was doing two different projects.
No, it was the same developer. It was the Housing Trust of Rutland County owns two other multiple housing
Correct.
projects.
Oh, so the
Okay.
So,
issue was because.
the
it's
answer
same
is-
Builder.
This is all Jesse has within
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
5
yeah,
mile
okay.
radius.
You're not doing any
Fair
other
enough.
development.
Right.
Setting an example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't getting into the same deal.
Only one.
So
Yeah.
beyond our best to have Gary to make sure, have Gary or Jeff follow up on that or something
Yeah,
you do it on this.
Well, I think it's
No.
an opportunity tonight. I think that's a good answer, okay? I just wanna know, is there any, I mean, you've looked at this a lot longer than I have. Other than that argument, is there another argument why, this square footage thing doesn't fly? Now, we just had one 2 weeks ago and we were in the 8s and we looked at that. I'm just asking from the developer standpoint, and Jeff, you know a lot about this, is what we're hanging our hat on is that essentially because of the type of project, I get that, that this minimum lot size requirement under the zoning doesn't apply, it's superseded by what you're saying, Jeff.
Okay, well,
Isn't that correct, gentlemen?
Yeah,
That's what
to
we're.
make a greater
I-
distinction, the project 2 weeks ago was commercial in nature, not residential.
No, I get it, Jeff,
So
we're
this
just
is
asking
the
this.
residential project and Act 181 addresses residential exemption.
Okay,
And are you saying that it's your opinion that one of those exemption applies to this
I
project?
think it's a prime candidate for that.
okay.
So can we rely on his testimony as far as as the zoning administrators? That's his testimony.
Can I ask, just, you seem very well prepared, are you aware of any of this, or is this a new issue tonight?
So I'm aware of that Act 181, I think is what it's
Mhm.
called, being out, that is letting projects not have to care about their setbacks and all that sort of stuff. I didn't, dive too far into the weeds of it. Just knowing that the state is doing the superseding usually is based on, CA or whoever is overseeing.
So my exposure to other towns, I will say other towns, the zoning boards, as opposed to having to be challenged in environmental court, understand 181 and will understand that, they'll do what they do to be able to, if they haven't updated their zoning regulations, to be compliant with the 181 is they'll grant variances so that the project can go forward without delay.
Do you have any example of that being done?
Brandon,
It's been done?
yeah, West Rutland, they did that.
Okay, I don't,
Yeah,
but you
West
said
Rutland,
Brandon.
Right.
How recent?
6 months ago.
Okay, can you give us just a quick overview of?
I can give you a quick overview of 181. I was.
No,
not-
I'm
I was
aware of
not party-
181.
no, I was not party to the planning commission and they used VLCT as well. Although there's 2 attorneys on that planning commission. But they had a grant and they used that VLCT, I'm sorry, the Regional Planning Commission. The guy that does the zoning updates.
Logan
Logan
Solomon.
Solomon.
Yeah, Logan Solomon. He was the drafter of that. Back in the day, we can look up Brandon zoning rights now.
Okay, all right, Jeff, I think I got the idea. Not sure I got my question answered. I think unless Gary's.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions?
A lot of what was, I'm also on the planning commission too long. We're working with 181 right now. And we kind of look at coverage and square footage, and this is with our old zoning. They're looking, Gary, for your information more towards density.
Right, I am familiar with it.
Okay,
Generally.
generally,
speaking,
yeah. So it's a tough, but I just want to make sure if we can rely on.
181 superseding our zoning.
Yeah, but I think we can move forward. Can we move forward under that it's pre-existing? I mean, they're not changing the size of the building, right?
Yeah, and it
Right.
sounds to me, that's why I asked, tell me if I'm wrong. The way zoning usually works is if it's a open deck, it doesn't count, but once you put a roof on it, then it's a quote a structure. And I think your testimony was any of the roof decks still complied with setbacks.
Yeah, so from my quick view of where even like the edge of the property was on that southeast corner to the closest corner of like the south deck, it was about 48 or 49 feet, and I think our setback was like 25 or 10 or something like that.
Right,
So anything we were doing was still far enough away from the property line based on our review of it. And then the couple roof decks, the ones on at least the south and the west end, the roof coverings that I'm talking about at the door are really just like cracked structures back to the wall anyway, nothing that's actually touching the ground. So depending on how you look at it, with that, and the only one that's really like more of a structural piece is the one on the east elevation on the back of the building where we're trying to protect the stair and give a little bit of protection from the elements.
And it's the
But
safety
even
thing
there,
too.
it's still farther away based on what we're seeing for property.
so basically, all your development project, whatever you wanna call it, is within the existing footprint. And then anything you're adding with roofs still meet the setback requirement.
That is our understanding and our, yeah.
Okay. I think you did a nice job presenting this. It's very clear. And thank goodness we still have a small local board where everybody knows everybody, and thank you for your honesty, Rick, and coming forth. I guess that being said, I don't have any questions. Does anybody else on the board have a question or concerns? And if not, then I would entertain a motion to approve the application / testimony given tonight. Entertain a motion to approve the project. Okay,
I'll second it.
second by Charlie. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Jim, you had your chance. You've got to move. Okay. We will then direct the, Gary, do you want to write this up or do you want Jeff to? Jeff, you got this one?
Anyway, anything the board finds, so.
Okay. So then I'll direct you, Jeff, to write up the findings, the conclusions,
I'll do it.
and the
draft,
decision on this.
And then we'll run it through the council.
Okay,
Curiosity, what's your time frame?
Nice frames, so next steps will be taking the design and doing a little bit more development work to get through those firewall details
Yeah.
and that sort of stuff. Needed, so probably a couple months at least in order to get it to fire safety, go through all of those requirements as
Yeah.
well. And then we might have a line the builder up, or just a matter of getting into the. Side of things in the contractor, I don't think we have an actual deadline or start date yet.
6 months away from getting contract.
okay. Well, good luck with the project. I'm glad
Yeah.
to see these buildings utilized and when there is a need. We like to attract, hopefully we attract good people to the town and yeah. It'll look good. Okay, okay. Well, you're welcome. Have a good night.
You do.
God, I can't believe we've dealt with 4 different things.
We still have one more to, just to clarify. Yeah, you're not leaving yet. What, have you approved the Pittsburgh one, or do we need to do that? The one with our, have you, did you? I wasn't here for that.
They approved it
Did
at
you?
this
Yeah.
Good, so. we're
April
all set.
7th.
We're all set.
Yeah.
I just didn't know when next.
Yeah.
Okay. we good.
Yeah, you signed it, right?
I didn't sign it. You just got it.
No, I think it's here tonight.
Oh, it's here to sign.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. No, I didn't sign it.
I didn't sign it.
No.
It's here to be
He
signed.
was asking me to sign it. I said, don't sign it. So it's the same person does it.
Yeah.
You be on your toes?
Another day at the office. Yeah, oh, it's fine, it's interesting. You know, I've been selling electrical supplies for about 35 years, so reading prints is not a big deal. but-
Yeah.
Right. Right, so. I was surprised that they're not upgrading the service to it.
Well, that, it used to be a restaurant, so imagine if it upgraded
That's
decades ago.
Well, they're gonna run mini splits though, and whatever else, and
In terms of sewer and water, actually, the restaurant was allocated for more water than this project.
Yeah,
Yes.
it probably was, yeah.
but I'm saying the electrical service, I'm surprised they're not increasing that.
You'll find that the fire marshal will make them, trust me.
Yeah, they're doing this project right. Wait till the firemen.
What I was telling him, as far as my son's a master plumber.
Mhm.
And there's a propane heat pumps out there now that when the heat pump says it's too expensive, they get the order propane. So
Where's that air?
it's exactly like a regular heat pump, but you can duck it, you can put it in the ceiling, you can put it in the attic.
I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a great building. I just didn't wanna see, spaghetti ductwork all over the outside of it like you see in so many places.
I saw that example just a couple of weeks ago.
I'm glad to see the
Beautiful
rooms.
house, It was like Baxter Octopus. You know, this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He moved up here 2 years ago.
I should have come to like their meetings before I
he's-
presented mine. They
he's
did a much
very
better job
shy.
than I did.
Very, very shy. He's come a long way since I've been, huh? I know, but he's very nice. Like I've had several conversations with him about water and sewer allocations and everything. And he started probably 6 or 8 months ago asking about allocations and if we could get more. And we wrote the letters and I have a whole file.
Well, it's in this thing there, Sean, and the gallons of water. and
Yeah,
sewer.
well, I wrote up the letters, Sean signed them.
Okay.
They said this is what we need, and I'm like, yeah, we can definitely do that, because it's already allocated for 4, so it's not
Last time,
much more.
remember the subdivision that the board did? No,
Mhm.
it wasn't a subdivision for this board, it was a planning commission subdivision. Bob Lemieux wanted to do a 4-lot subdivision on the old, Gagne property up there, right on the town line.
Clint Taylor's.
Brandon.
Oh,
He's
okay.
talking about
Taylor
Taylor's
Lane.
Ladder Valley.
All right, so that was a 4-lot subdivision. One house was already on Route 7. They had a Taylor Lane was a kind of came off Route 7. And the permit, the person in charge of 111 permits for V-Trans, she didn't come to the hearing. And then she wrote the day after the hearing that, needed a 111 permit, so on. The die had been cast. They tossed it to the property owner to resolve, which he did. Because he thought that was taken care of when they did the right-of-way negotiations for that part of the upgrades. It was such a boondoggle. So again, V-Trans 111 didn't participate tonight. This is the kind of thing they usually get involved with. I mean, when they opened the 19th hole down here, with the little snack bar, you made us think about that.
You never know.
Interesting.
People want to see less regulations, Jeff, it's like, government is like a cancer.
Oh, yeah.
It just gets on the people, and then the government, it's like it grows and it just sucks all the life out of everything, and we've all been here like 50 years.
Out of everybody.
And we have a really nice
We
town
know.
people want to come to.
50 years
Yes,
back.
Jeff, but Jeff, you're not
Once you have it.
getting my point. My point is,
Still, you gotta shoot it.
we don't
You gotta bury
need
it somewhere.
these people telling us how to live and all these little things, and people constantly getting
I
ambushed.
don't argue that. I'm not my forester license.
You know? It's because it's so open-ended to interpretation. And then the laws change, like this 181, that's gonna be changed again. It's just not working. It's pie in the sky, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For what it's worth.
Well, the good news is we got a lot done too.
Yes,
I know.
very good.
A lot.
Very productive.
Yeah,
Not even that o'clock yet.
not even 8:30.
So now that mine's approved, what do I gotta fix?
Well,
Can I ask you guys that
Conditional
off the
use.
record?
you're gonna get a
I'm
copy.
gonna get a copy in the next couple days,
Okay,
or
Yeah, you'll have to wait.
okay.
As you saw, were you here? We ran over on time. What time did you come in?
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the night I left, you guys were still debating for a while, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
Are
approving it.
we done with this Zoom?
here we are.
Yes,
Okay,
we're done.
if there's no other business.
Yeah.
Vote to adjourn.
Okay,
Is there any other?
anybody wanna, Jim, move to adjourn, so.
Wait a minute, before we move
Go
to
ahead.
adjourn, you brought up the point tonight that we had 2 hearings set.
Oh.
And if that's okay to do that, fine, but they were kind of at the same time. Typically, a hearing has a specific time.
Oh, you don't need to do that.
No,
You can
here's-
do them in just order of the
Well,
agenda.
here's the problem. There's pros and cons to both
Right.
ways, okay?
If you run over.
The problem is, The good news is you do it the way you did it tonight. Everyone's here, but people gotta sit around. The problem with, saying 7:30, if
Yeah.
you run over,
Right.
or the other thing is, if you said 7 and 8, and you're done with this one at 7:15, you're
You gotta
still
wait till
around
later.
for 45 minutes.
So we're good with doing that.
I
though.
think so. I
Okay.
think it just makes
Well,
smarter.
no, the warning
decisions.
says you have to be in here by 7:15, no matter what the hearing lineup is. So there's no excuse at that point. My warnings, because I've gone through this, right? That argument where Gary says, well, you can't have the hearing till 8:15.
Right.
No, the way we're doing it like we did tonight is great, because everybody who's gonna participate in the agenda for the evening has to be sitting and logged in by 7:15, or they forfeit their right to appeal. And if they have to wait, they have to wait. And
But my
when
only
they-
concern is that we don't start getting 3 or 4.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I think, I agree. If you had 4 hearings on a night, I think you need.
Yeah, but we,
Gary will tell you Castleton used to have 4 and they cut it back to 3 max. It all depends. I wouldn't schedule 4 if I knew there were gonna be time consuming hearings, right? So.
Jeff, we went through more business tonight than we did all of last year.
And guess who helped you orchestrate that?
Yeah. So, but I think it's all gotta be filtered to say, as he's come in to say, hey, is this gonna be a tough one? I think we
Right.
better reassess it.
So I knew
We're
that.
leaving that up to you, but
Suppose you might want to only do one.
exactly,
So
yeah.
both, the first hearing was done first because I felt that would be the simplest hearing,
but the problem is, Jeff, as like listens with my case, I did not get notice and Charlie didn't get it.
Yeah.
I just checked my
all I
emails.
can do is send it out in a timely fashion. After it leaves the
I-
post, it's out of my hands, it's in the post office. You could talk to them about that.
Yeah.
And the newspaper has got that. It used to be you could get an ad the next morning if the ad was submitted at 11:15.
I know,
And now you have to have 2 full days to get an ad.
but my point is, did you send it digitally?
No,
No.
it's posted on the website, but I don't send it digitally. I don't have everybody's email address.
I got your email, believe it or not, Jeff.
Yeah.
And that's the only, I did not get a hard copy like I got tonight.
Yeah.
If you read the cover letter, it says, here's your digital one. I will have hard copies ready for pickup by Friday before the hearing.
Okay.
And I did. Nobody came in to pick them up.
But here's my question. Did anybody other than Sam receive a digital? Did
I mailed out the same.
Okay,
If you
did
got it,
anybody
everybody
else,
should have
did
got it.
anybody else receive a hard copy?
No, it said in the cover letter, you weren't gonna get a hard copy because of the tight timeline. But you
I
could
thought
read the
everything was on the
digital one,
email.
And the email
You get
also
yours on
said.
email?
I got mine on email.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
and
mine
the
on-
email
Yeah, I
also
scrolled through
said-
everything on the email.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't get it.
Well,
No, I got it.
You
they
got
all
it.
went
You
out in the
did.
same email.
Yeah,
So
gonna
can't
say.
Help that. It's the
Okay.
same email and the same email chain I've used for 10 years, so I don't, I can't,
I got one
Can't
request,
what's that?
is when you do your stuff, some are this way and some are this way.
That's how I get them.
No.
That's how I get them.
It's,
Usually you can
gotta print
rotate
it
them
out,
on your
cut 'em
email,
up
though, I
anyway.
think.
mean, I try to put them in the printer or a copier or scanner in a way where you would read it and turn it like you would any book.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so. But sometimes it gets a little muddled up, but I do take that into consideration.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor to adjourn. Did we vote on that yet?
no.
No.
Who made the motion?
I'll make a
Jim did.
motion to
Jim
adjourn.
made
Jim did. There's a second.
Eddie.
Wait a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thanks, Ann, for showing up.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much.